Hey everybody. Well, this is another one of those another video where I'm just showing off a thing that I had to Photoshop for work. When I make video edits, I like to insert funny little gags, and sometimes I make visuals for stuff they say. And this is one of those instances. It's a play on the classic Garfield pipe strip. So yeah, it was a good bit of fun making this. I grew up with Garfield, actually. I checked out a lot of Garfield books from the school library, and I would read them all the way through, and then I was more of a Calvin and Hobbes person, and I still am, but I read a good amount of Garf when I was a kid. I also would rent the DVDs for the Garfield and Friends cartoon show, and that was a fun show. I didn't really understand why they needed the friends for it, though. It was kind of weird. And if you don't know, Garfield and Friends was basically every episode had two stories: a Garfield story and then a side story with these animals that were on a farm. And there was also sometimes they'd sometimes do a little song. And I don't 100% understand why they did that, because Garfield is enough, I feel like even back then Garf was enough, but it's whatever. I'm sure there are fans of the Friends in the Garfield and Friends. I guess I just wouldn't call myself one of them. They kind of scared me. They were kind of scary, because you'd have just these Garfield shorts, and then you would just cut to these just live action animals with I guess voiceover, kind of like that Milo and Otis movie, except I'm hoping they're not hurling the actual animals off of a cliff. Yeah, so the animals on the farm. And I'm not afraid of farm animals specifically. I think, I like pigs. Pigs are cute. I like cows. I like goats. I love goats. Goats are great. But, I don't know. Something seemed off about these animals, and I'm not 100% sure what it was. Okay, so for example, one of the characters was an egg, but it was but the legs, it's like a chicken egg, but the legs had hatched out, but the rest of the egg was stuck in there. And that would look cute if it were a cartoon, but in live action footage, I don't even know how they did that. And it made me a little worried, to be honest. Why would they do that? Is that a puppet, or is there a real animal in there? I haven't looked it up since, just because of this feeling of dread that I get whenever I think of the Friends in Garfield and Friends. So I can't. I'm sure I'd be able to tell now that I'm an adult. Memory tends to warp things around, but God, right now I'm already getting some of that. My therapist taught me a really useful trick for when I start getting nervous. If you take one hand and you sort of place it over your chest, almost like over your heart, and you just kind of hold it there, it can help you feel a little better. It almost feels like you're getting a hug. And it sounds stupid, but it helps. I'm doing that right now. But yeah, and there were some episodes that I think my favorite episode of Garfield and Friends was, I forget what exactly it was called, but it was an episode where Garfield, they got a new satellite dish so they could get more channels on the TV, and Garfield accidentally, spills some lasagna in it, and now he's in the TV Oh my gosh. And that was I don't 100% remember what happens because it's been a long, long time, which I'm sure you already know considering I mentioned that I rented the DVDs for this. But yeah, Garfield, he's in the TV channels, and I think he like goes from show to show or something, and that's fun. But there's this part where it's actually kind of hard to remember, to be honest. I just there's I can remember a lot of the show episodes I watched pretty thoroughly as a kid, but there's something about that episode that I can't remember, and I'm getting that same kind of dread that I was feeling before, and I don't know what caused that. I got the same feeling from The Teacher's Pet movie. I saw it as a kid, and something about it freaked me out. And I rewatched it a while back, and I realized that it was just because there's a lot of parts where the characters are looking directly at the screen, and I am scopophobic. So when I was a kid and I didn't know what that was, it just made me really, really uncomfortable. Also, the creator of that show and who did the cranium art and whatnot is also just kind of an asshole. But obviously I didn't know that when I was a kid. I must have just like sensed it or something. But yeah, the friends, there's this one. I don't remember if it was an actual episode or if it was just like a dream that I had as a kid, but I remember one time where I rented a DVD and it just kind of started playing, and it was that chicken and the egg that I mentioned before that had only partially hatched, and you see him hatch, and it's I think that was just a nightmare. I don't think that was real. Now that there's no way. There's no way. Sorry, I'm pausing a lot. I didn't when like you dredge up old feelings and you don't realize I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So, God, what happened in that episode? What did Garfield, like, see when he went in the television? Why can't I remember? I rented that DVD, like, all the time. Oh, you know why it is? You know why I can't remember? I just realized because back when I rented those was when my grandfather still lived with us. This is another thing that I've learned from my therapist. When you have a really shitty experience, when you're having a bad time when you're younger, your brain is more focused on like this survival than it is on retaining information, and because of that, you can forget a lot of stuff. And I think that's why I don't remember, because I wasn't having a great time when I was at that point in my life. So, um, so I, I haven't been keeping up with Garfield. It, I don't want to say I grew up because that's such a shitty thing to say. People can like whatever they want no matter how old they are. I guess just I kind of just lost the time to keep reading it, I guess. Or maybe I just lost interest. I don't know. It's it seems so wholesome, you know? Like the way things happen in Garfield. Like how, at the end of the day they're still, it'll all work out. Things will always reset by the next issue or the next episode or the next special. And like it's okay. Things are always okay, you know? And that shit makes me jealous, you know? I mean, obviously life doesn't happen like it does in TV, but I didn't know that when I was young. I actually I developed this thing called maladaptive daydreaming, where when I'm not even thinking, I can just kind of slip into a daydream because I did that a lot as an escape when I was younger. And it would always be something that not even stuff that I like necessarily, just something that I'm like a show or something or a comic that I'm just like experiencing a lot of at the time, because sometimes it's not even like a show or a comic that I like. But I think it happened with Garfield for a while. Except I can't remember what it was. But when I think about that daydreaming that I did, I can remember like daydreams of me and Garfield, which obviously, like, Garfield doesn't actually talk, he just has sassy thoughts, but I didn't 100% understand that as a kid. Or maybe I just changed it just because, you know? I'm sorry, this is really depressing. Um, I will say Garfield got me to like lasagna. I actually, when I was younger, I'd eat a lot of those, like, Stouffer microwave lasagnas. I did that a lot. I do that while watching Garfield and Friends. And... I just remembered that nightmare. I remembered what it looked like. It's... It... It was definitely not an episode. That was not an episode. That was not an episode. That was not an episode. They wouldn't have done that. No. It wasn't. It wasn't real. It's okay. It wasn't real. I'm okay. it's really weird how you can get your memories and your nightmares sort of mixed up with each other, right? There are a bunch of things that I didn't even realize were real or that weren't dreams until I saw them in like physical form. Um, but um, one time I had this nightmare that worms were coming out of my arm. It was the scariest shit. I've always had a fear of like parasites, you know. Ever since this math teacher I had in the 6th grade like told us about this safari she went on and how her husband got like a thing that laid eggs under his eye, and it's, oh god. And then just thinking about like it in there, and then when it emerges from its shell. Ah, God, I'm so sorry. That's really gross. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Maybe I should find that episode. It's not real. It's not real, but it's not real. No, God, no. I'd be wasting my fucking time. But yeah, so this is the finished little thing. I arranged it into a 3-panel so that y'all can see it better, though the actual edit will just show the individual panels. But here it is. And thanks.